How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the channel. When you're playing as a nation around the Holy Roman Empire, I'm sure you have wished for HRE to go away. It's difficult taking land from HRE as the Emperor and its allies will protect most HRE members, and you get plus 50% aggressive expansion from taking any HRE province. So if you're playing around HRE, you either join them and become the Emperor, or dismantle them and eat all the HRE miners. In this guide, we will see how to dismantle HRE in a very short time. I will use Poland here as that's the easiest nation to dismantle HRE early, but theoretically you can use this guide with any major power around the HRE. Before we get to the wars, let's look at the game mechanics behind dismantling HRE. To dismantle HRE, you need to satisfy a couple of criteria. 1. You need to occupy Emperor's capital when at war with them, and second, none of the electors should be independent. The term independent here has a specific meaning, and it's not whether the elector is a subject or not. I don't know why devs didn't use a different term here, but here are the conditions where an elector is considered independent or not independent. If the elector does not join the war between the emperor and you, the war leader, it's independent. If the elector is a vassal of any country other than emperor or you, it's considered independent. If the elector joins the war on emperor's side and the elector's capital is occupied, it's considered not independent. If the elector is your vassal and joins the war against the emperor, it's considered not independent. If the elector is allied to you, it's considered not independent. So we need them to be not independent in order to dismantle HRE. Now that we know the conditions for dismantling HRE, let's see how we can use this knowledge when playing as Poland. We can dismantle HRE in more or less 4 years depending on RNG. And it's fairly simple. We know that if an elector is allied to you, it's considered not independent. So if we ally every elector, that will satisfy one criteria for dismantling the HRE. To satisfy the second criteria, we need to attack Austria and occupy Vienna, their capital. That might lead to 1 or 2 electors joining the war on Austria's side, which is something we should be able to handle. As Poland, you typically get Lithuania under PU fairly early, so they will help you with the war as well. In this game, I managed to ally all electors. However, Brandenburg later broke their alliance as they had Bohemia as a rival, who I was allied to as they are one of the electors as well. Next step was to attack Austria, but since Poland doesn't share a border with them, you can't get a claim. Yes, it's time to no CB the Emperor himself. You will suffer some aggressive expansion, some war exhaustion, and low stability, but it's nothing you can't handle early on, especially with Lithuania and Mazovia on your side. Austria will typically have a couple of HRE miners and Hungary as their allies. In my game, they were allied to Hungary, Brandenburg, Alsace, East Frisia, and Aragon, while I had Lithuania as PU subject and Mazovia as a vassal. And Moldavia became a march from an event during the war. My advice is to set your subjects on defensive, as vassal AI is not super smart and they will divide up their forces and just die in enemy provinces. If they are on the defensive, they tend to handle the enemy forces a bit better. With your army, focus on sieging down Vienna and any elector's capital that answered their call to arms. Austria and its allies might siege down a few of your provinces, but remember, the war score doesn't matter here. The aim is to dismantle HRE, and you can do that once you siege down Austria's and any other enemy elector's capital. In my game, I was able to do this by 1448. You might be able to do it quicker if you roll a better siege general, or it might be a bit slower if you're unlucky with the rolls. Few months here and there doesn't make a huge difference anyways. The point is that the HRE doesn't exist anymore, and you can eat up the HRE miners very easily. Once you dismantle HRE, you will have to win the war. It's up to you if you want to white peace or not. You will suffer from fair amount of war exhaustion due to the no CB war and enemy occupation of your provinces. You might have to fight some rebels too. Also, if you increase your stability and buy down war exhaustion, you will lag a bit behind tech. And you will have a fair amount of loans. So I recommend you stabilize for a few years after this war. The new Danzig event will fire soon as well, and you will have to fight Teutonic Knights too. You will also be above relation limit when you ally all electors, and you have 3 to 4 vassals. I usually dissolve my alliance with the former minor electors, but that's really up to you how you want to play after this. And that's how you dismantle HRE in a very short time. Since Poland got a patch update recently, I thought a lot of players will start a Poland campaign, and I wanted to share this neat trick. With HRE gone, all you have to do is take care of Ottomans and Muscovy, and you will be good to go for world domination. I will create a separate Poland guide which should be out soon-ish, so look out for that. Till then, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.